Hello! We are back in it again today reviewing United Airlines. We've seen what they've got for long haul, and now it's time to take a peek at one of their many short haul products. And I say one of many, because cabin inconsistency continues to be a problem in United Airlines economy class on short and medium haul. Like the United A320 family has a different economy class from the other types, but at least it stays pretty much the same throughout the A320 fleet. Then there's the 757, which normally has seats suited for medium and long haul with outdated IFE screens, but some of them are being retrofitted with the signature interior, which is only guaranteed at this time on the MAX 8 and maybe on some newer MAX 9s, but not all of those either. And then there's the 737NG, which is probably one of the most inconsistent types in United's fleet when it comes to economy class. There are at least two significantly differing interiors throughout United's fleet of 737-700, 800, and 900, and you may not be able to predict which one you'll get. The most noticeable difference between the interiors is the fact that one of them has personal entertainment screens equipped with DirecTV, while the other one doesn't. That goes along with several other subtle differences. And I heard somewhere that these aren't the only interiors existing on these 737s, but I'm not sure about that. Now, the reason I bring this up is because in this video, I review two United flights going through the Bozeman Yellowstone Airport in Montana on board the B737-800. And those two 737s happen to have the two different interiors. Since I haven't seen any videos on YouTube directly comparing these products, I thought, why not do that? They're on the same route and on the same 737 variant, and that's what I'll be doing today. Before we get into it, I just want to let you know that I do not have a lot of footage from the first flight because I was super tired when I recorded it and ended up sleeping through cruise and descent and missed the landing. I have a ton more footage to show on the second one. Anyways, it's time for Flight 1, UA778 from Denver to Bozeman, Yellowstone. Hello from Denver Airport. When I took this trip, my original plan was to only record the second flight, so most of my footage here will just be plane spotting shots. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload a video on this flight until I found out I might be getting different interiors, which ended up being true. We are in the B gates, which makes sense because United practically owns this terminal, and I have flown United out of here many times in the past. In fact, this isn't even my first time on a United 737NG. I have been on all three variants in the fleet, but I never went in depth on the passenger experience since they were all before I started making trip reports. It was actually raining real badly at one point while I was here, but it stopped before my aircraft arrived. And while I waited for that, I had to move around a ton because the gate literally changed about 4 or 5 times, even after the rain stopped. So yeah, after about an hour or two of plane spotting and getting a burger at the Shake Shack, my aircraft finally arrived and settled on gate B41. We are now boarding. I'm seated in 24F today, and the first thing I noticed is that this aircraft is not equipped with the PTVs. We do get a good wing view though, there's that. The seat seems to be in okay condition except for a few cracks visible around here and there. I don't know the name of this seat model, but I know American Airlines uses it on some of their A319s, and it can be seen on other carriers all over the world. The legroom is okay, at least on this interior. Definitely fine for an hour and 20-minute long flight like this. Also, the seats felt a bit more comfortable than the ones on American Airlines on the same aircraft type, so I gotta give them that. And once again, the cabin crew handed out some sanitizing wipes, which American Airlines didn't do. Okay, I'll stop bringing up AA for now. Here's the tray table. It is actually a decent size, but I find the lack of cup holders disturbing. And this is the case on not just the 737, but some of their 787 Dreamliners as well. Now we'll just speed run through the seat pocket contents. They include an airline magazine, safety card, and air sickness bag. Anything you'd expect. Because I want to get into more detail on the second flight, we'll be speeding through the taxi and the takeoff, cruise, and landing, and then I'll just give the ratings on this flight, then we'll go to the next one. Okay, so one thing I should bring up is that I had dozed off for a bit but snapped back awake when we were still on the taxiway, and I was informed that we had been standing on the taxiway for like 20 to 30 minutes. I still do not know the reason for this, but because of both that and the 4+ gate changes, we ended up taking off an hour late. Flight 2, UA1505, Bozeman, Yellowstone to Denver. We are back on board the 737. I'll be seated in 31F this time, and it's also got a pretty nice wing view. And yes, we did get the other interior this time. This one includes the personal PTVs. We'll be checking those out later. Interesting fact is that the A-gate area was completely empty today. I looked around, there was nobody, there were no planes, and it looks like the B-gate area is mostly empty too. Well, that was before this Alaska 737 MAX 9 arrived. I didn't even know that aircraft type flew into this airport. Well, anyways, once again, the cabin crew did hand out these sanitizing wipes. We'll be taking a look at some of the seat pocket contents at cruise. But now we've got our tray table, and I don't think it's quite as big as the one on the other interior, and it doesn't have any cup holders either, so nothing special. Here's the legroom. I don't know what to say about it. It's not bad, but it felt a bit tighter than the one on the other interior. I don't know if that's true, but it did feel that way.
Southeast runway. A little bit bumpy out here, so I asked the flight attendants to remain seated just for a little bit longer than usual. And it's welcome. We're excited to have you aboard, and we appreciate you.
The seatbelt sign is off. Please take a moment to forward door slides detached from the aircraft and serve as extra flotation. Do not use the app.
So much to choose from. You can watch live views.
Okay, so let's talk about the service. All that was handed out was this cup of water, which after my Lufthansa and Iberia flights you wouldn't expect me to be surprised. Except that only a few months before this I had taken a United Express flight on a CRJ-200 with a similar flight time, and they offered a complimentary selection of both snacks and drinks, so I can't lie that I was disappointed. United, come on, you can do better. The cabin crew themselves were no doubt very kind today, so there's that. Better not forget to show the adjustable headrest. It's pretty nice they have this on an hour-long flight, even though I do not like the material. Two interiors down, welcome back to Denver. Coming up on screen are the scores for this flight. In my honest opinion, both of them were okay. I didn't expect anything big from United. One complaint I have is the delay on flight 778, but I still don't know whether they were responsible for it or not. I gotta give them props for offering a free selection of in-flight entertainment through personal device, which is something that would exceed my expectations on a short-haul flight. If you're wondering why I gave UA such a high amenity score, it's because of that. There's also personal DirecTV screens, of course, but those aren't guaranteed and are only on one interior. Speaking of interiors, which one do I prefer? The answer to that question is something I've been thinking about for a while, even while I was editing this video. And I've come to the conclusion that the interior with PTVs is the better one, only because of, you guessed it, PTVs. The reason why it was so hard for me to come to this decision is because I can't lie that I felt more comfortable in the seats without them, but that could have been for other reasons than the seat characteristics. I cannot confirm the dimensions of the seat because according to Seat Guru, there are like 4 versions of the 800. And some of them have 30 inches of pitch, others 31, not to mention that the seat width varies between 16.3 and 17.3. And even if the PTV-less seats are the more comfortable product, it certainly isn't by much, and I'd say that both of them are okay for a flight of this length. My preference of interior all comes down to what does one have that the other doesn't, and in this case, it's the PTVs. Before I give my final score, let me talk about the service level on Flight 1505. The cabin crew members themselves were fine. I never ran into any problems with them on board, nor with the ground staff. They did seem happy to be there as well. The complaint I have regarding the service is the fact that they only offered a cup of water. No drink choice, no stroopwafel, nor anything else. Not the worst I've seen on a flight this long, but because I saw so much more on a United Express flight, this was just flat out disappointing. I genuinely hope this flight was an exception and that United short-haul service hasn't gone down the same hole as Lufthansa's. Seriously, if it wasn't for the American Airlines flights I'd reviewed before, I'd have lost all faith in short-haul service. Final score for both of these flights is 6.9 out of 10. UA short-haul definitely has plenty of downsides with the service and cabin inconsistency, but plenty of upsides including in-flight entertainment. I've said this in my past reviews on this airline, but I'll say it again. United is a mixed bag. They aren't bad, but there's certainly better options. I'd recommend flying with them if it happens to be among the cheapest deals, though.